Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer, and I'm going to give you a summary on the book Best Boy by Eli Gobley. All right, this is the cover of the novel. This is what the cover looks like. First, we're going to talk about the characters of the story. So the first character, who's the main character, his name is Todd. He's an adult living in a residential community for individuals with mental challenges. In the story, Todd is about 52 years old. He's in his older adulthood. He's been in a residential community since he was 11 years old. But he spent most of his time at Peytonville. Mike Henson is a new staff member that reminds Todd of his father just by some of the ways that he is. He does smoke, and then he can be very mean to Todd. Tommy Doon is Todd's roommate. So after Tommy found out that Todd has what he likes to call votes, Tommy made it his mission to try to send Todd into a tantrum. So he'll do things just to provoke Todd. So he would sing loudly, make noise, touch his stuff, or even like tell on him. Later on in the story, when he was visiting with his parents, he blurted out that Todd is going to run away. And I mean, he did end up running away, but I'll get there. So he just does things to just try to provoke Todd to have his votes. When Todd goes into his votes, he bites his hands. So he likes to bite his hands. In the book, it talks about how his hands have scars on it, because sometimes that's how intensely he would bite himself. Martine is another character. She has one eye. Something happened to one of her eyes, and they left it versus giving her a glass eye. And she's a rebel, so she's been kicked out of more than one residential place, and now she met with Todd, and Todd kind of has romantic feelings for her. Nate, that's Todd's younger brother. He made a promise to his mom that he would look after him after he passed. But Nate doesn't always seem to understand Todd's condition, because he still gets upset for when Todd doesn't follow along or understand or have empathy. And Beth is also Nate's wife. So here's a summary. So the summary is that Todd spent most of his life living in a residential. He grew up, experienced a lot of physical and emotional trauma. His dad was very violent to him, beating him and things of that nature. He would have tantrums that he calls vote, and in order for him to be able to self-soothe, he would bite. He takes medications to keep the voices in his head quiet, but he doesn't really like the way the medicine feels. Although he voices how he feels about the medicine to his brother, I'll get to it when I get to it. So Martine convinces Todd to stop his medicine so that way he can feel normal. And then they also begin a romantic relationship. Then Todd and Martine run away from Peyton, but they were later caught and brought back to the facility. So here how the story talks about autism. So some characteristics of autism spectrum disorder that was shown in the book is that Todd, he is able to read, although many people don't know that. He doesn't like people to know that. He likes his dictionaries, his encyclopedias that he keeps hidden. He doesn't like to be touched, and it's probably due to a sensory sensitivity. He doesn't like it at all. Every time someone touches him, it turns into a problem. Also, he has a little bit of OCD. He likes to keep his hands clean, and he washes his hands also. And also, he doesn't respond to feelings of others. So that's the reason why Todd and Nate often bump heads. Some of the strengths. So Todd has a lot of self-control. He learned with the help of his counselors how to identify when he's overstimulated and when the risk of his volts appear, and how to go ahead and self-soothe without biting. So Todd's brother does love him, but the brother shows compassion when he can, although life makes him busy. He can't visit or talk to Todd as often. Mike Henson took advantage of Todd. He was verbally abusive and manipulative. So he used to use Todd to help cover for him. when there was an incident at Paytonville that caused a young lady to allegedly take her life. And then Todd is also unable to lie, and that could be part of his OCD. Some of the challenges is that Todd's brother Nate has a drinking problem that also reminds him of his dad's drinking. And Nate and Beth argue often about the topic, if Todd should move in with them or if he should stay at the residential facility. Throughout the book, you see that they go back and forth, talking about who says what or what said who. My personal reflection on the book. So, autism is rarely presented from the viewpoint of adulthood. The novel Best Boy not only presented Todd as a 52-year-old adult, but also presented some of the challenges faced when living in a residential facility. So he had roommates that would bully him. He had staff members that were mean to him. He had other staff members that really looked up to him because they knew he couldn't lie and that he would tell the truth. So that kind of put him in a predicament too, because the one that he was hiding for, Mike, had a lot of negative energy towards him, right? So this novel also reminded me that the family dynamics are different for everyone. The way that Todd expressed how the medication feel provided me with more insight to why research is needed for interventions that do not include medicine. Martine told him if he doesn't take the pills, then he'll be able to feel normal again. So feeling normal is something that they want to, and sometimes the medicine can cloud that, causing him headaches or sickness or nausea. And then he also fantasizes a lot about his mother. So that tells me that there's some lost feelings or some things that are not all the way clear when it comes to him and his mom's relationship. So towards the end of the novel, Todd does visit his childhood home, and he was able to find old letters and photos from his mom. Nate betrayed Todd because the mom had a condo in Florida that was supposed to be sold, and with that money, he was supposed to make a trust for Todd. And an argument broke out between Beth and Nate over it because Nate had bought a car that was very expensive, and his thing was that, no one is suffering, no one is complaining, like everyone's living comfortable. So what is the problem? So he didn't see what was wrong with that. This novel also helps me see that there's real issues that people with ASD face when it comes to how other people treat them. So the reason why I really came into special education is that I always wonder what happens to the children with ASD that end up turning into adults. Like, how do they get taken care of afterwards? Beth, who is Nate's wife, also made a reference to Rain Man. Rain Man has become a staple in autism whenever we're talking about autism in Hollywood or autism in media. But one thing that I definitely learned is that no two people with autism will have the same. We might have the same things that you look for, whether it's the stemming or the eye contact, social emotional behaviors, sensory issues, stuff like that, but every person is not the same. So we cannot use Rain Man alone just to think that that's going to help teach you a lot about autism. And Todd knew he had autism, and he knew a lot about the topic because one of the counselors told him to go ahead and research what autism was, and then that's how he knew. But all in all, this was a great book, and for my classmates and my peers who may not always want to go to the library and get a book or buy books off of Amazon, there is an app that I use. It's called Hoopla, Hoopla. It's a free app, and it's linked to your library card that allows you to download and rent books from your smartphone or tablet. All right? Thank you, guys. Have a great day.